Right, let's just get this out of the way first. Yes, the background is a little bit different. I got a new desk over the weekend, so the office had a little bit of a makeover. But don't worry, nothing has changed over at Derby. We cannot buy a win. It's been a struggle. I kind of missed the championship, if I'm honest. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name, of course, is Breezy, and this is the Derby County series. Now, of course, if you are new around here, please remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a like on the video as well, as it really helps the channel grow. We are nearly at 500 subs. We smashed through 400 recently. Now we're nearly at 500, so let's keep it going. Now, I mentioned that the form hasn't been great, and, well, I don't know what to tell you. It hasn't been great. As you can see, then, 4 points from the opening 6 games. We sit just outside the relegation zone, above Watford, West Brom, and Southampton. It's been... I've just seen the goal difference, 13 conceded, 4 scored. It's been a bit of a struggle, I won't lie to you, viewers. You might also notice that I'm also using a new skin, the Renzi skin. I'll leave a link to that in the description. I've also got myself a new face pack. It's all changed around here, but again, the results largely the same. So following the opening day defeat to Aston Villa, we went away to Old Trafford and got trounced 4-1, 2 goals each for Harry Kane and Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, it was a struggle. Following that, though, a win, an actual win in the Premier League at home to Tottenham, which, you know, Spurs, so fair enough. Lewis Ferguson on 85 minutes with a fantastic free kick to give us the 3 points. I have to say, though, you've seen the match ratings. Yeah, we FM'd them a little bit. We should not have won this game. Arnaud Bodart might be the best goalkeeper in world football. At 8.3, how often do you see it at 8.3 for a goalkeeper? I mean, it may well have been the best goalkeeping performance I've ever seen on FM. I'm calling it now. Following that, a competition that we're actually really good in, the Carabao Cup. We beat arch rivals Nottingham Forest 4-2. Dane Scarlett getting off and running for the season with a couple of goals there, which was you always love to see. We love Dane Scarlett. But then back to reality as we went to Anfield and got absolutely slapped 4-0 by Liverpool. Dominic Szoboszlai, Salah and Gundogan on the score sheet. We were absolutely atrocious, but it is Liverpool. You kind of got to respect it, haven't you? Another away game. There's a theme here. This time away at Selhurst Park, where we drew 1-1 with Crystal Palace. Dane Scarlett did give us the lead, but Berriese pulled things level just for half time, and nothing changed after that. We came away with a point, but you know, a point away from home, first year in the Premier League, you'll always take those, I think. However, the last 2 games, I'd say performances have been a lot better. Yes, we did lose 2-1 at home to Manchester City, but the performance was really, really good. It was a very even game. I mean, City admittedly aren't having the best season ever. But we did threaten them a few times and nearly get ourselves on level terms. But yeah, Gabriel Barbosa with the double, a towel pulling one back very late on for us. Just wasn't enough, unfortunately. But, you know, the performance good enough that we can take some positives out of it. And then back in Carabao Cup action, we beat fellow strugglers West Brom 2-0. Alexander Mitrovic finally deciding that he wants to play for Derby County and getting his first 2 goals for the club. I got a news item saying it was his first goal for over 20 hours of football. I did not do enough research before signing him. That is an error on my part. Today then, it's a home game against Leicester City, followed by a trip to the Amex to take on Brighton Hove Albion. Leicester having a very good start to the season. 4 wins and 1 defeat from opening 5 sees them in 4th, whereas Brighton 2 wins, 1 draw and 2 defeats sees them sitting quite comfortably in 10th. This is the stage of the season now. We have to start getting some points on the board. 2 defeats today would see us in real trouble. So, and again, I mentioned it in the last episode, I think, that our home games are going to be very, very crucial. We've got home games against Watford coming up, West Brom, Everton, so they're the games we really need to win. But I think Leicester at home, we did them in the Cup last season. Let's see if we can repeat that and do them in the league this time round. I'm relatively confident. Like I said, the performances in the last 2 games, especially against West Brom and City, have given me enough to think, okay, maybe we can turn a bit of a corner and start getting some more points on the board. We've made a slight few changes to the system as well. We're changing the wingers up to be just wingers, and we've just, we're passing the space a little bit more, drop the tempo ever so slightly, and yeah, we're just trying to give ourselves more of a chance in games rather than just... Because I feel like we're playing with a high tempo, we're getting the ball and then just launching upfield and giving the ball back to opposition almost needlessly. So I think lowering the tempo a little bit will make us consider those passes a little bit more and hopefully makes us a little bit better in possession. That's the thinking behind it anyway. Now, this is the team that's going to be taking on Leicester City, and you may well notice there is a change at left-back. Lucas Alaza has not had the best start to life at Derby. 6.36 average rating in his last 5 games. It's not ideal. 6.32 just overall. So I think it's probably best we just take him out of the first team for a while and let him just, sort of collect himself and maybe try and find his best form. But also it's worth noting that Dylan Williams, the 20-year-old, who on paper doesn't look fantastic, but against West Brom, 7.4. Albeit it was a cup game against a pretty poor West Brom side. I want to reward a good performance with a start in the Premier League against Leicester, and that's what we're going to do today. Atau is also going to get a run out in the starting 11 after that goal against Manchester City. I think it's a good idea to, if he's scoring goals, to have him in the team. And Harry Wilson's going to be on the left-hand side, just as both out-and-out wingers with Mitrovic and Scarlett up front. I'm looking for a big performance from Mitrovic today. Like I said, opened his account for the club. Finally, in the last game against West Brom, hopefully he can get up and running in the Premier League against Leicester. Less talking, let's go into the action. Hopefully we can get all 3 points. Stream through the comments in the last video. A lot of you are actually quite happy with the signings that we made in the summer. Few contentious players that we brought in. Mitrovic, I think, being the main one. But I think overall, everyone was sort of in agreement. It's probably the best that we could have done, given the the stature of the club, the reputation, and the money we had available, and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully, it's enough to keep us in the division this year. Again, I'm not expecting to get anywhere near even sort of the upper half of the bottom half of the table. As I say this, Dane Scarlett running through. He's a good tackle. Harry Wilson goes for goal, and Harry Wilson gets his first goal since returning to Derby County. And what a start here! 8 minutes in, we lead Leicester 1-0. Come on, the lovely ball over the top. Wilson, great first touch, played into Dane Scarlett, who looks like he's gonna get a shot off. It's a great sliding challenge from Markow, but yeah, Harry Wilson pretty much has an empty goal to aim at, and a lovely finish into the middle of the net. 1-0 to Derby. Come on, now we're cooking. But yeah, as I was saying, the main aim for this season is just to avoid relegation. I don't really care if we're in that mid-table spot. I'd be happy with 17th, to be honest, especially the way we've looked in the early parts of the season. As Ferguson puts the challenge in, it comes to Ricardo, who chips into the back post looking for Madison. Fofana gets the shot off, but Bodar's made the save. It's a brilliant save from Bodar, and we do eventually get it clear. As I mentioned it, especially that performance against Spurs that he put in, Bodar is probably one of my favourite signings so far from this summer. He has been outstanding. But I have to say, since we scored, it has pretty much been all Leicester, as Fofana looking for Ndidi. I mean, they are, very good side, Leicester, who've had a good start to the season. As Ricardo looking into Rafa Mir, he's got himself in behind. It's another good save from Bodar, and McIntyre gets it away. Is it going to be another one of those games where we're looking at our goalkeeper to try and keep us in it? Right, corner. Harry Wilson, we know deadly is from set pieces. Swings the corner in, and Jamal Lascelles cracks it off the post. I do have a confession to make. I completely forgot that Jamal Lascelles came through the Nottingham Forest Academy. I'd like to apologise to the entire Derby County fan base, because that was a big oversight on my part. But hey, if he had scored there and put us 2-0 up, we'd all forgotten about it, wouldn't we? So, yeah, I'm just sorry. Mitrovic, oh my God, Mitrovic won the header. Scarlett's in, surely enough for 2-0. Oh, he's gone to Dink Schmeichel. It's 2-0. Dane Scarlett, can he do it in the Premier League? Well, there's your answer. It's his, I think, second goal of the season in the league, 4 overall. And there you go, that's the combinations we were looking for. Mitrovic with the header down, Scarlett gets himself in behind. And these are the sort of goals I want to see us scoring this season. As Scarlett, acres of space, it's a lovely finish over Kasper Schmeichel. It's going to suck when we absolutely cannot sign him permanently, because I worry that Spurs are just going to price him out of a permanent move to Pride Park. But I'd love to make it happen in this season, especially if he keeps up this goal scoring run of his. All right, half an hour in, 2-0 to the good. See, I was originally going to bring you the City game, but I just knew I didn't have the heart to sit here on camera and watch us get battered. But we had to end up playing a lot better than I thought we would. But I figured Leicester and Brighton would be a much better City game, just because we have a chance of winning at least one of them. And that is what we're doing right now, going into half time. 2-0 to the goods. Leicester City are in the mud. Madison went off injured as well, which I didn't even realise until now. So yeah, it's early. Since the early goal from us, it was all Leicester, but we came back into that first half really well, and we lead 2-0. Let's see how we get on in the second half, as we have a throw in deep in their half to kickstart things in the second half. Nico Williams swings the cross in. Max Bird's there at the far post. Can't keep his header down, though, and it goes just over. But this is, honestly, so far, in terms of the league performances, this is probably the best we've looked so far this season in terms of a league game. As the ball goes in from Wilson, it's cleared by Markow, and Atal now has it. What I like about Atal is because he can play wing-back as well. When I play him as a winger on this right-hand side, he does get up and down the pitch quite a lot and does chip him in defensive duties. As the cross went in, cleared away by Castagnet, and now Leicester will let's try and build something from the back, but they've given it away, and Mitrovic has hit the... I don't know what Leicester are doing. Mitrovic hits the post. Schmeichel didn't look that confident. But yeah, very nearly 3-0 for us there. You love to see it. What's even better is we should be getting at least Musay back from injury ahead of the Brighton games. He'll be a great option to bring off the bench. Wilson swings the corner in, and Mitrovic is that big man to aim for at the near post. Can't keep his head down, though. Just flies over. But you have to say, Leicester have not really had a sniff so far in the second half. It's been all us. As I'm saying that, I'm now very worried that we might give them a chance. But no, Lascelles just about deals with it. Max Bird now switched over to Dylan Williams, who again, I've got to say, 6.7. Not as good as not as good of a rating he had against West Brom. But he's come in and done a solid job. Getting better ratings than Alaza has in the opening games, that's for sure. As Bird gives it away, and now Pedro has it. And Dylan Williams there, look, sniffing out the danger and getting the ball back for us. That's what we want to see. It is now, if he carries this type of form on, his position to lose in that left-back spot. Didn't get a lot of opportunities for us in the Championship. In the Premier League, he has to say, he's making a step up. As we're doing a good job of just keeping the ball. Bodar looks long, looking for Mitrovic. Can he win that header and find Scarlett? Yes, he has done. Scarlett now into Joswiak to make it 3 at that. Is an absolutely fantastic save. All right, there is a minute left on the clock, and you have to say it looks like we're heading towards a second league win of the season for Derby. And you know what? Like, I'm going to keep saying it all year. Home games for us this year are going to be so important, and to basically nullify a really good Leicester team and look this impressive in doing so gives me a lot of hope going into the rest of the season. If we can get, rack up a few more performances like this, then I think in terms of relegation, hopefully we'll be okay. As Wilson swings a free kick in, Schmeichel punches it, Parrott into Bird. Is there time for a third? I mean, there is. Someone has to take a risk here, maybe get a shot off. As Nico Williams Does well. I mean, I have to say, one of the big improvements I've seen from us so far in this game is our ball retention. Like, we've been so much better at not giving the ball away cheaply and just looking a lot more calmer and comfortable in possession, which definitely wasn't the case at the start of the season. As Wilson swings the ball in looking for Parrott, I think it's going to tick over into the end of the game here. The referee does indeed blow for full time, and there you have it. Derby County 2, Leicester City 0. We've beaten them again, and good signs. Good signs. Like I said, they really had a few chances in the first half, a couple of chances in the second half, but they really didn't look that threatening. And I think overall, we have to say, we deserve that. Up into 11th. Bloody hell, we're going to get nosebleeds at this rate. Right, excellent win. It's now time to face Brighton, who have got a couple of games in hand on us. But yeah, a win there. I mean, if we can get back-to-back wins today for the first time this season, that would be something now, wouldn't it? Just looking at Dane Scarlett's value. I really want him permanently, and he's just constantly improving. But again, I think it's going to be difficult to convince Spurs to sell him to us. I mean, we'll see how much money we get next season, but I would really love him here full time and be our main striker for years to come. How good would that be? Right, viewers, inexplicably, I've actually clicked through to the game. I was just clicking through, not really paying attention. And before we know it, I'm presented with the team sheets. Basically, we're going to go with the exact same starting 11 to beat Leicester. Why wouldn't we? The one big news is that Lys Mousset is fit enough to be on the bench, so we may be seeing him come off to get some minutes under his belt before the end of the game. But I mean, unless Dane Scarlett is tearing up, then why would we bring him on? But yeah, that's the Brighton team managed by Mark van Bommel. Lianco and Lewis Dunk at the back is going to be not the greatest centre back pie you've ever seen. And Danjuma and Rafael Santos Borre as attacking options. It's an interesting Brighton side. Let's see if we can get the 3 points. Now, I've told them I want us to pick up where we left off last time. It was, again, such a great performance against Leicester. Brighton, you probably say, on paper, probably got a worse squad in terms of ability than Leicester have. So there's no reason why we can't go out there and put in the same level of effort and show our qualities as well as did against Leicester. So, bearing in mind where Brighton are in the table where we are, a good opportunity for us to overtake them in the table. Just spot West Ham top of the league as well after 8 games, 20 points. Come on, West Ham, absolutely massive we are. As it's an early corner for Brighton. Pascal Gross swings it in. Lianco gets his head to it. Thankfully flies over the bar though. I have to say, there's a bit of a kick clash going on here, surely. Because we're playing in our light blue away strip against the white and blue of Brighton. So I'll do my best to try and keep up what's going on as Santos Borre wins that header. But it goes just over the bar. But it's an early onslaught from Brighton. To be fair, I say I want to win. It's away from home. If I'm going to get a draw from it, I'll take that. I think any point, especially away from home, is more than valuable for us this season. So just don't lose. That's the challenge I'm setting for these boys in this game. Just don't lose. As we've got a free kick. Harry Wilson, he's going to go for goal. He's gone for goal when Altay gets his hands to it, pushed by him for a corner. There's Mitrovic not playing exactly brilliantly, and his fitness levels aren't as what we kind of want them to be. As Wilson swings the corner in, looking for, I think that might have been Lascelles, but didn't happen this time, and Brighton get it clear. Right then, half-time, 0-0. Looking at the match stats, it's all fairly even in terms of shots, in terms of, they've had way more possession than we have, and their passing's definitely been better. Okay, maybe something to think about going into half-time and, potential changes we could make. Again, we do have the pace and extra firepower of Lys Mousset to bring off the bench. We are playing for set pieces more with this tactic, as a suggestion someone made in the comments on the last video, which is a very good shout. Bear in mind we have Wilson and Laza in the team, even though he's not starting. Definitely a good idea to try and make the most out of their set piece ability. And do you know what? Speaking of Laza, Dylan Williams on 6.3. I think now you give Laza a chance to try and stake a claim to be a starting player again. We'll bring him off the bench. As for Mitrovic, we'll see. Max Bird's not playing brilliantly either. I think that's another change we'll make. He's not playing well. Let's get Dewsbury Hall on in the midfield with Lewis Ferguson. As there is a highlight. Williams into Harry Wilson. And of course, he's got Mitrovic to aim for as well as Dane Scarlett. I can see Atau at the back post. The cross comes in. Mitrovic gets his head to it. And I think it's hit the crossbar. Oh, Altay got a hand to it. But it's behind for a corner. Arguably the best chance of the game. And it comes the way of Derby. And Mitrovic still searching for his first goal in the league. And he can't make it happen this time. Okay, we're in the 73rd minute. I'm just thinking about what change we can make. Atau, playing well, but fitness-wise, isn't quite there. Whereas Mitrovic and Scarlett, Scarlett especially, has not really been firing for us. Do you know what? Because Mousset's not exactly fully fit for this one, I think we'll get Joswiak on for Atau. Just a bit extra pace down the right-hand side. And hopefully that can be the difference maker for us. But again, looking at the match stats, very even game. Not much to separate either side. And do you know what? All things considered, a draw, well, it's looking like it's going to be that anyway, but a point and a clean sheet away from home against a fairly decent Brighton team, I'm happy with that. I think as far as given the circumstances of what sort of team we are and the quality we've got, to get 4 points from our last 2 games and have back-to-back clean sheets, I'm pretty happy with that. I think we can all agree there is some real progress being made with this side this season. On another day, we could well have won it. We just need our strikers to be a little bit more potent in front of goal, but it just wasn't to be. I'm going to tell you that, look, well done, lads. Proved a lot of people wrong in avoiding defeat out there. 6.7 for Mitrovic, which means his performances are improving. ever so slightly. I think he just needs that first goal in the league to really get firing. But no, overall, I have to say, I'm pretty happy. So there you have it. At the end of the episode then, we sit 13th in the table, which bear in mind we started today in 17th. I'm, again, pretty happy with that. 2 wins, 2 draws, 4 defeats. The goal difference is not looking as bad now. And yeah, I think we just need to be a bit better in front of goal. And look, at the moment, we're averaging about a point a game. Obviously, we need a little bit more than that if we are going to stay out this season. I'm trying to think who got what was it to say? Okay, well maybe not. 36 points was enough to stay in the division last season, so maybe if we stay on this trajectory, we may just about scrape survival. But obviously, we want to make it a little bit more secure for ourselves. So there's obviously improvements we can make. I think if we get some extra money to spend in January, which I don't think is going to happen, then we'll maybe look to add some more firepower up front. But if we don't, we've got Musa, we've got Parrott, we've got Mitrovic, we've got Scarlett. I think between those 4. Hopefully you would expect there should be enough goals in there. In terms of the next episode then, I think we will return for the games. Let me see. I think Leeds and Bournemouth, I think, are probably the games we're going to bring you in December. So I'll play through these fixtures here and we'll come back for the games against Leeds and Bournemouth. Because again, I think they're games that we could potentially get maximum points out of, hopefully anyway. It depends what our form is looking like in between those 2 fixtures. But we've got some winnable games on paper coming up, so hopefully we can get some more points on the boards. And obviously Arsenal and Chelsea inside of those 2 fixtures is not going to be fun. But yeah, it's a rather kind December, I think. There's some winnable fixtures in there. It's January where it worries me. Spurs, Villa, Liverpool, City, Leicester. It's going to be tough. Until the next one then, ladies and gents, as always, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy today's episode, please remember to leave a like on the video. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Once again, we are gaining on 500 subscribers, which at the rate the channel's going, we probably hit it before I even upload this. I think this happened quite a few times when I've mentioned these targets, so hopefully we can make that happen. And yeah, thank you as always for your continued support on the series, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Derby County, where I'm sure there's going to be even more drama. Until then, look after yourselves. I've been Embreezy. See you later.